Hello and welcome to Pulse Chain Montage. Bruce, Lindsay, Sammy, Hodpearl, thanks for being here. We're here for your entertainment. How you guys doing?
Howdy.
We got people in the chat. This is good. Academaciated. After so many streams, I can say your name. Hello, thank you for coming. Tam in the house. Not Goo God. Tin Top and Vibra Finance in the chat. Altcoin Chef. Hello. 3M63R. Hello from the UK. Hello to you. The Prairie Banana. Hello. Hit the like and sub. And if you're new to Pulse Chain, welcome. Thank you. Great entry. Comment. Don Swan. Hello from Melbourne. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
I'm doing good. I saw the low prices today and I DCA'd in some money.
You Chad. That is a Chad move, and I give you a Chad award.
You don't get to see Pulse X with 4 zeros and a 1 very often. So
I'm going to have to clip that because that is an absolute Chad entry, and Chad entries get a clip. Well done, Briz. Lindsay, what is up?
Snaps to Briz on that one. I am actually Altcoin Chef. Hello, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
That's my friend YouTube. Yeah, I stream from Vibra Finance, and I also stream from Altcoin Chef.
That.
So I'm
Altcoin Chef. Different faces of Vibra Lindsay. I love it. And you're also
faces of Vibra Lindsay. You get a little bit more of my freedom of speech, freedom to transact, and freedom of movement platform there.
I love that. You just take over the mic whenever you want. Hodpearl, good to see you.
What's going on?
Oh, well, I've been treasure hunting, going deep down that rabbit hole and far out. It's a deep rabbit hole. You know what kind of mindset that I have when I go down rabbit holes. And that's what I do. What have you been doing, Hodpearl?
Oh, man. Well, here's a funny story real quick. I eat a bunch of garbage. Like I drink Monster Energy drinks and gum. You know what I mean? And
I get it.
I went and got like a massage for the first time in ever. And I got so sick.
What?
And and I had to, and I was like, I probably shouldn't eat garbage. Like whatever's in the stuff, it's more than like a normal reaction. So now I'm just gonna try to be healthy, right?
But did you get sick after the massage or after the energy drink gum combo?
No, not after that. I mean, after the massage, because I think, either I was dehydrated or whatever it was.
Your lymph releasing toxins. When you apply a manual manipulation to the tissue, you're actually releasing toxins that way, and then they're filtering through your kidneys, and that's just...
Well, like at first I didn't believe that. I thought it was kind of like it wasn't real. But
they're moving it towards your lymphs, which are our greatest filtration system in our body. So if you think about it, if they're massaging your back, they're moving it all towards your lymphs and our
it was lymph node thing. Yeah, and so my kidneys hurt. I had a fever. It was like terrible. And I'm like, God, am I eating just like what am I doing? This feels poisoned. And that can't be normal.
I mean, dehydration is no joke. I went into a tachyarrhythmia the other day. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
That's such a doctor thing. What is that, Claus?
Oh, it's just to layman. I just massaged my carotid and I come good, no joke. And I wasn't even meaning to do that, but I reverted myself that way because I leant on it. But yeah, it's.
I know that's not crypto related, but I mean, I guess if we have to live a long time to see the end of our stakes, it is.
Yeah, it was just super dehydration and exhaustion, and then dehydration is no joke. Like it's no joke. And then just add in a bit of COVID or whatever, and it's like far out. But yeah, that's Bridgeshow's been doing the righty. Like he's showing us the way with his montage.
Actually, he's been doing health stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're helping well.
I want to say hi to Sammy, and we'll come back.
Sorry, Sammy.
No, you're right. I'm amazed that I'm really good. I'm good. I'm amazed that a massage can make you sick, though. I mean, is it actually
me too?
A massage?
But you might have got the massage because you were already feeling a little bit that way. That's my kind of theory on the massage link, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, man, I
have them from time to time. But yeah, like it really like makes my body feel different after it. Like I don't know. It's weird. But I've heard of other people getting sick after them too. So that's really weird. But hello everybody. Good to see everyone.
Hey.
This market looks to be
in the chat
right now. But I hope everyone's hanging in there, just kicking back like I am, watching the drama. Go Twitter.
For sure, Sammy, for sure. And we were saying in the green room that we love your hair. It looks beautiful.
Oh, thank you. It was a bit of a quick job.
Shining light.
I'm on annual leave till next week, so I'm actually just bumming around. Yeah.
What's your plan, Sammy? What are you going to get up to?
Well, I've been cleaning my house that like really needed it. Then I did some gardening yesterday, but nothing special. I love kicking out at home. You know, like I don't know. It's just
same.
Chill. It's just good.
I love just being at home. I just don't.
Yeah.
If somebody invites me somewhere, it's like they've assaulted me. I'm like, what? You want me to socialize with you? It's like actually a burden to my entire life. Like text messages and invites socially. Not from Mexicans, but I don't live near any Mexicans. Yeah, everything is good. I've been crazy treasure hunting. I've been working. I've been looking after the kiddos. I've been painting. I haven't been sleeping too much, hence that SVT thing. But, you know, sometimes you got to like live your life instead of sleep. Like, I just feel like if I sleep, what am I achieving? Like, sleep faster, achieve more. But then there's obviously like a tipping point where you're like, whoa, I think I overdid it.
You're a superwoman, Claire. I really don't know how you do it all. I really don't.
No, I do this pocket weird thing where like, I could tell you the secret of it. I'll tell you the secret. Okay, let's share. There are some things that you end up neglecting. For example, the housework. So like, let's just say that there are some issues there. Yeah. So for every like really hard, like bright spot, there could be a really hard, like dark spot right next to it. So it's just about picking where you want the light spots. You only have so much energy. But yeah, that's my little thing. Let's talk about crypto. Okay, so let's not lie. The prices are wrecked. Richo's done a tweet to like guide us in the right direction here. I'm going to share.
Yeah, how long ago did he tweet that? It was pretty recent.
Bloody long tweet, though, Richo.
It was a long one.
Why, Richo? Why does it have to be so long for? Anyway, I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to go to my bookmarks. I love that intro. Does anyone else love my intro?
Where he's playing the
yeah, love it.
That bit, and then like the cat.
I saw you bookmark 2 of my tweets.
Brizology is featured in the bookmark today. Let's do him first.
I love your tweets, Briz. They're so bully.
Make a tweet about it so we can make fun of you for the next 100 years.
I'm going to listen.
Please.
We're going to solve longevity.
How can you not be bullish, guys? Come on. You
$72,000 ink.
Anyone selling ink at these levels, make a tweet about it so we can make fun of you for the next 100 years.
That is banger. Absolute banger right there. Briz, do you want to say any more on that topic?
I really think that we're going to see sky high prices. I really think that we have an insurance policy on Pulse Chain. You know, it's been up to us for the last 4 years to get everybody on board. And, you know, we might have failed a little bit. We might have come up a little short on getting the next 1 million people onboarded. But we have an insurance policy. And I really believe it's a sacrifice wallet. And when Ethereum hits $10,000, that's $1.7 billion that Richard will be in control of, or the OA will be in control of, that, you know, cost him absolutely nothing because it was just given to him. So it's not coming out of his own pocket. And then $1 billion could just flow in easily. And that's our insurance policy if we don't onboard the next 1 million people.
Speaking of
love it. I love it, Briz. I do. Cool, I love your business.
I got a new onboard, guys. I got an opera singer on board. Cool, huh?
Cool.
Yeah, she sings opera. Like she's coming on in like 2 weeks to sing opera for us. I'm like, what?
Right on.
and she's single too.
Oh,
she's like, I need some crypto bros. So I was like, I got crypto bros. Don't worry about that.
Oh
she's
man.
Like, oh, I'm so
Go
lonely.
straight
I'm
to the
like,
trenches
what?
and ask her if she wants to rethink and reconsider.
she's a real gem. Like her family. Oh, she just comes from a really good background, and she can sing. And anyway.
That's exciting. Thanks, Klaus. It's always like I love hearing onboarding stories. I like you need to hear more of them.
I'll tell you how it went down, because like it's actually quite, I found it to be entertaining. So I had to go to, I was saying before about assaulting me with social gatherings. I had to go to a social gathering, and it was a family member's birthday. And so I was there. But the good thing about this one is they have the time zone style arcade games there. So you can like eat your burger in the pub style area, and then they have the time zone area as a separate area. So I was just entertained with that. And anyway, she was telling me this story, and she doesn't watch my stream, so I can say it without her knowing, right? I won't give away too much detail. But she was saying this story about the reason she broke up with her last partner was because she was cooking, right, a dinner for friends. And then she didn't wear a bra. So she's cooking without her bra on. And the friends that she had there were 2 lesbians and her partner. Mm-hmm. And so she was cooking without her bra on, just having a great time, like smashing some wine and cooking some steak. And then her partner was really offended that she wasn't wearing a bra. So he said to her, why don't you go put on a bra? And then she was just thinking like, oh, because she was just right in her zone, like having a real good time, like cooking without her bra on. And then he's just like made her feel like shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's your house. It's your body. If you don't want to wear a bra, it's no one else's choice, really.
And they were lesbians. Like they would have loved the fact that she wasn't wearing a bra. Like who cares if she's not wearing a bra?
I know. It's not like she was like topless.
Maybe he's
or
concerned
nothing,
for her
right?
safety.
I know, indigo girl style. Yeah,
big noggers. But if she doesn't want to wear a bra, that's cool. Like that is bringing back some 70s vibes. Like that's
yeah.
And anyway, she was like, fuck that. And then they broke up. She was like, what the hell? We're going to keep going down.
It probably would have been a lot of things though, Claire. Like he probably just would have been, the person might have been very controlling.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it was financial as well. Sorry, Lindsay, give us your take.
I think if that's the way the conversation went between the two of them, then she did herself a favor, because a lover doesn't.
Yeah, he was just killing the vibe. Like,
hey, you know what prevents from that is having self-custody your wallet. No jerk is able to control your money.
True.
You know,
she needs to be like
with
that.
DeFi. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm going to teach her, man. So what I'm going to do, I told her about Internet Money Wallet. This is the easiest way to onboard. I can just send her the crypto. She can watch it grow. And then eventually she'll be like, oh, it grows. And then we can move on from there. So I'll do it for her because she's cool. Like she's Renaissance. Like she's like, this is what we're here for.
You know who's doing that? The Tiger Crypto God has been doing that. He got an Internet Money Wallet. He used to be a full-on Hex hater, like rubbish all the Hexicans, fight with us, call Richard every name under the sun. Now he's turned and he's got an Internet Money Wallet, and he's basically telling everyone he's actually going up. His wallet's going up. I don't know how in this market, but and he has actually got a huge following in TikTok. He's got 65,000 followers or something on TikTok. So he's more popular on TikTok than he is on Twitter. I think he's got about 3,000. He's a real character.
He looks really unique and very captivating. Yeah, he's done us a lot of favors actually. Let's keep going down the bookmarkage. So we've got here a wild SJ giving us some light. Make it a habit to talk about blessings more than burdens. When you spread positivity, the universe blesses you even with more blessings. Close the window that triggers you, no matter how captivating it is. Be disciplined about what you entertain. Where focus goes, energy flows. That's so true. Yeah, true. I find gratitude unlocks a lot of things for me, especially when you're having a real hard time with a goal. If you just like force the gratitude down it, then the goal, it just all works out. Richard Hart, bang a tweet. Far out, Richard. It's a lot of words. I challenge you to the Richard Hart workout. Do chin-ups, bench, deadlifts, 1 set every day. Post your numbers today and every day in this thread for the next 30 days, and I'll do the same. I'll post my top numbers from last week to start. So he started last week. Oh my gosh, there's some like lingo here. or the physical Chad's gonna have to tell me.
All right, say what it is, and maybe I'll figure it out.
Okay, I think he's meaning pounds, like 210 pounds times 20 deadlift. I think, is that what it's referring to? 175 pounds times 7 bench. Is that right with the numbers, Briz? Like,
can you show us? Can you share your screen?
Oh shit! I'm not even bloody sharing.
You're not sharing.
Yes,
class.
I'm just not sharing.
Share with us,
you guys.
Don't keep it to yourself. Sure.
Here we are. Okay, so these numbers, like that's like how much he's lifting times rep, like 210 pound, right? I know in kilos, so this is why these numbers look foreign to me. Is that right?
Yeah, pounds.
How much is that in
210
kilos?
pounds times 20.
I gotta convert.
Deadlift.
So I think what it is I could be wrong about this. I think it's 20.
95 kilos. That's and then bench.
Okay,
benching? 175 bench.
175.
That's a
so
lot.
Yeah, that's pounds.
That's like extreme number.
7 times.
Like, what the hell?
175 times 7, not just once. That's 7.
Yeah, I was looking for reps versus sets, but this is deadlift. So
80 kilo bench. Yeah. Oh, that's a lot.
Numbers.
Far out. He's
95 kilos.
He's
that's
gonna
a
be
lot.
ripped.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm going to failure. I can't always get the same numbers every day. For
What are we
instance,
gonna do with the ripped Richard Hart? Well, how are we gonna handle it? How are we gonna handle this?
I don't know. You guys are
2 hands, bro. That's how you
all of y'all, Georgia.
2 hands.
Competition.
With at least one.
No, good for him. It's good. It's good for him that he's focusing on his health too. I mean, he's not going to be around here for long if he's deadlifting cheeseburgers. So let's be serious. He needs to be leading the way with healthy foods, healthy drinks. He's the dude. I mean,
I totally get it, man. Like I said, my
cat.
masseuse was awesome, but holy cow, like you are poisoning yourself. I kind of went along with it and didn't believe quasi health stuff. I'm a believer now. You know what I mean?
He's
Yeah,
probably
and you're
eating
looking
tuna out of the can.
That's a
Why do
really
you drink
important-
With his fingers.
Okay, there's a really important
Sorry,
point
what was-
amongst all of this. So why everyone has to think about the underlying reason here, like why is Richard getting ripped? Could there be an event that he would like to go to in the not too distant future where he wants to look ripped? So Richard is planning for success for the cycle. That's the way that I see it.
That's good. That's awesome.
It's good.
Yeah, because he can
I'm
imagine like see
guessing-
ahead, you know.
I'm guessing he's probably like 44, 45 years old. He's probably not in the greatest of shape. He's probably fallen apart. You know what I mean? His back is probably constantly hurting. His knees are aching. He's like, "Oh my God, I gotta work out. I'm gonna die if I don't work out."
Speaking from
Trust me,
experience,
I know
Grace.
how that feels.
are you saying that he's midlifing on us?
Don't we
Yeah,
all?
pretty
I'm
much.
probably the oldest one here. And I go to gym now. I've joined backup gym too.
Same.
Let's all get ripped. That'd be cool. What if we outdo Richard? That'd
Yeah.
be great.
No,
All of us.
All right.
Hey, Lindsay's already ripped.
Wow, Lindsay.
I'm not ready for that
Look
shot.
Look at
though.
me
Lindsay.
in comparison.
Far out.
Nothing. Holy
Oh.
cow, Lindsay! What do you lift?
What's
You're
those
like a
guns
health
again?
person.
what do I
Lindsay, you gotta
lift?
show us those guns again. No, I want to see the guns.
Here, I'll show you the other one.
She's
Oh,
By the way, Maddie,
finished.
Oh my god!
I lift buckets of water for my garden. I pull weeds. Like
That's a
I
lot.
down there pull my weeds. So I'm doing my triceps and my biceps. I've got my like my yoke for like things that it carries. So I like a couple of these like every once in a while. It doesn't hurt. That's like that is my therapy. It's being out in the dirt, the
It
garden.
doesn't hurt because you're ripped. That's why.
No, well, because I
Not
do it.
ripped, but I mean, like in shape. You're in shape. Billy, you look
That's
great.
why I'm in shape though, because I'm out there
Yeah.
like when I'm doing things, I'm not just bending over pulling out a weed. I'm squatting intentionally. I'm bringing up my
squat, yeah.
energy. I'm relaxing my shoulders.
can you show
I'm
the people how to
straightening
do
my
a
neck.
squat? Show them how to do a proper squat, Lindsay.
Could you do it on the camera?
I can't.
No,
I can't
don't
on
do
camera.
it.
But I will. I will
Gotta pay for
release
that.
some
That's
of my
paid
yoga
services,
videos
people.
or something
Can
someday.
can you do a
It's
pistol
yoga.
squat?
A pistol squat,
Yeah.
Chris?
That's
that a
where you
diamond one?
stick out one leg
Oh,
you
I know what
squat
those
down on
are. Those.
one leg.
I mean,
Oh,
probably if I needed to, if there was a reason for me to do it, then
that
I
one.
could,
And you put your
like,
bum onto the back ankle.
I feel like if I would try, I'd
yeah.
probably blow out my kneecap or
Oh
something.
my God. I reckon I'd pop a hip.
I've been ice skating,
Very
so I've had
nice.
to do those, and it's very rough. You will get
nice.
While
lightheaded.
ice skating, you do a pistol squat
cool.
while ice
Not
skating.
while ice skating. Well, eventually, actually, if you can kind of do like weird swizzle turns. But yeah, that's an exercise for it, and it's rough.
Yeah.
Bulgarian squats and pistol
if you
squats.
don't use it, you lose it. And it's so true. As an older person amongst you guys, my wisdom, you got to keep at it. You know, I think it's a lifelong commitment to, you know, part of your health, exercise, got to be something you got to do every day, every week, to maintain it. Because if you lose muscle strength,
it's so important, isn't it?
Your body,
you start getting injured, and then you can't do what you need to do.
Well,
Brizology, the banger tweets. Brizology. If 1 billion is injected with no cell pressure, now do down 99% and see what the prices are. If 250,000 new onboards put in 5,000 each, that's 1.25 billion injected. This is not out of the realm of possibility. People want these kind of games. They just don't know how to get it yet. We have to be loud about this being the best place for this to happen. And then you've got your calculator. Brizology, can you tell us about this this image here?
So, excuse me. So I basically just, I'm thinking about the sacrifice address, right? And I'm thinking about it going up to 1.7 billion. And what if Richard just took $1 billion out of that 1.7 and injected it into the four core right here, 250 million in each one. And you can see if that was done and there was absolutely no cell pressure, you know, hex right there would be $502. A $1 Pulse X. Could you believe that, guys? Could you believe that? And same with ink, $91,000 ink. But of course, there's always going to be cell pressure. And I think 99% down on that ink would be a $913 ink.
Cool. That's like buy a castle. Buy a castle territory, Briz.
And I truly believe that when the sacrifice money does come in, all of these coins are going to be taken off the market forever. And so in the next cycle, we're going to have way more scarcity, and the prices could be just artificially propped up to higher levels than they are now. So
yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how this cycle compared to next cycle plays out, because people might make mad gains this cycle and they keep none for next cycle, and then the next cycle is actually that was actually even more epic. I'm going to share the banger tweet now. 2 hours ago, Richard Hart tweeted. I was like, and Sammy sent it to me. I was like, thank God, because I was struggling for content.
Yay, content for the stream.
Content for the stream. Thank you, Richard. Pulse Chain is awesome. Works great. Pulse X works great. Hex works great. Wonderful technology. So how specifically does that affect the price? Well, PLS and PLSX both have lower supplies now than when they were launched because of burning. Supply and demand is king. Reduction of supply is good for price. But what is the primary mechanism by which the price moves? Buyers and sellers. Price up, that's because more people are buying than selling. Price down, that's because more people are selling than buying. It's not useful to pretend that the quality of the tech or its founder somehow magically changes the price. It is obviously buyers and sellers that are in charge of the price. You have to be really stupid or pitiful or misguided or some combination of all three to try and blame price on something other than buyers and sellers. I guess when people are butthurt, they lash out, even at their own team, even if it makes no sense. They can't control the price, so they try to do something they can control, cry publicly. Nothing is more manly than
crying in
public like a bitch. Nothing makes you more powerful than blaming everything on everyone else but yourself. Pro tip, when you take responsibility for your actions and give yourself the gift of being able to change, that can improve your life. Anyway, nearly everything in crypto is wrecked price-wise. If you're reading this, you're probably wrecked price-wise as well. Ethereum is $2,400 right now. It was $5K years and years ago. Do you hear me crying like a bitch at Vitalik? Please, Vitalik, please, make bag go up. No, because I have basic human dignity and it doesn't work. And being manly is cool. Too long, didn't read. Everyone's wrecked. And we've all been here many times before if you've been crypto for a while. If you shut the fuck up and keep working, it's actually working. You've got lots of potential to make amazing things happen. But crying like a bitch doesn't get the work done. Working does. Get to work. The tech is far better than it's ever been. And then he shows all of the coins that from all-time high are more than 99% down, more than 96% down, more than 92% down, 91% down, going more than 80% down. So banger tweet there from Ricardo.
You could tell he's been lifting because he's got like this test boost of like, don't cry, you little bitch. Like he's
Stop
just
being a
getting
little
running.
bitch. He's like listening. Listening
Yeah.
to like drum and bass.
That's like a fit bro tweet. Like, all right, get your act together. You know.
It sounds like he just got done deadlifting.
He did.
Ah,
Yeah, that came right after that.
you son of a
I think
bitch.
it all
Thinking
stems
about
from
He almost broke his keyboard with the buff fingers writing that out.
it all stems from, I think, comments made by GRC. So GRC left for a couple of years. He came back and he came back really strong. I was like, whoa, he's come back strong, like straight out of the gate, streaming like a Chad, absolutely entertainment max, like just really hit the nail on the head. And then he starts talking about how much he loves Jack Levin still. He's still going to talk about Jack Levin. I'm like, weird, but whatevs, bro. And then something really butt hurts him. And then he loses money in the casino. And then there is a very rapid and steep decline into crying like a bitch on multiple different platforms. It's hard to keep up with how many platforms he's cried like a bitch on, but I don't know. I don't really tune in that much to it.
I don't know if it's 100%. Sorry, I don't know if it's 100% true. I was just watching a stream earlier where he had got hacked, and he was talking to Papa Boner, and then someone inside the chat said that after he had gotten hacked, he had taken a $60,000 loan and bought into like Pulse Chain, I guess. And or bought money to do the Pulse Chain sacrifice. And so I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I read.
Did you know he brought out GLC coin on Chia? Did you know that?
He already rugged it apparently.
Did he?
I think he's already rugged that. Yeah. But he can come back again because this is like what we're like, right, at the casino. Like you can get butthurt and leave and you can just come straight back in because like we don't care. Like come back, GRC. Like come back to your former glory. Like all is forgiven. We're just like that. We're like, oh, he's crying. He's crying like a bitch. But it's like, but if he came back strong like he did when he first came back this time, just do that again.
Your sweatpants,
social
Nancy.
media suicide. I think he's committed that, to be honest. I mean, look, he's got his little faggy followers, but realistically, the way that he's spoken and displayed himself publicly is pretty disgraceful. So I think, I mean, you can't deny that shit's going to be there forever. And when the table turns, he's going to be getting a lot of receipts back at him.
We'll do anything for engagement. So if it's something that's
about, I don't even know who we're talking about right now.
Like I was going to say, like,
oh, okay. I was like this whole time. I'm like, I don't know.
Okay. Oh, he went on to. He's just basically ragging out Richard like publicly.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, oh man, all right.
But it's his full-time thing. Like every day, he does it. Like this guy doesn't let up.
GRC has said some pretty horrible stuff, but honestly, I think he could have a redemption arc. I mean, look at Tiger King, the Tiger Crypto God. He said some really horrible stuff, and he's changed his tune, and now he's accepted into the Pulse Chain community for the most part.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Now maybe this is dumb, but what if there's like an Andy Kaufman-esque increase in what's the word I'm looking for? Like Twitter engagement from even negative energy, right? Like if someone goes like Eric Walling or, like, oh, Richard Hart's a piece of shit, whatever. And then you have a zillion people. No, he's not. You suck. And then all of a sudden you go up in the SEO. of
Oh yeah, your
Twitter.
algorithm goes
You know what I mean?
crazy when you go when you type in keywords that are
Pulse chain or,
emotionally reactive or anything that
Yeah.
sparks any kind of emotion will get engagement because you engage with it, whether you don't like the post or whether you like the post. If you don't,
So what if that's helping more than someone who's not saying anything at all?
well, exactly. That's I mean,
Points
that's
for entertainment.
Like, look at,
what
there's
we
a profile
need.
on Twitter that I follow, Stylo, for example. And from what I just, the first time I read it, I was like, man, he is such a farmer. Like, I'm out here digging in the dirt. He's out here on Twitter digging for followers, likes, tweets, and Twitters, or whatever his goal is. I've never actually personally discussed that with him, but you know, he is out there looking for engagement. So he will spark things out there that are like, what did you just say, bro? And all of a sudden he's got a whole list of things to engage with. His profile is flourishing and there's lots of attention flowing. So
There
your
you
energy
go.
goes where your attention flows, and energy turns into economic energy too. So if you're spending time doing and engaging with those things, you're robbing yourself. You're robbing your child. That's sitting next to you looking for your attention, and you're sitting here like checking out the like ladies gossip section under Golden Girls. Like, you know, it's not helpful. Excuse me. It's not helpful to anybody's bags. But what is helpful is what Briss said. If you get your butts out there, put that energy towards onboarding one person you know for $5,000, 5 people you know for $1,000. You guys could break down the math. We're all smart people here. If you put that energy towards that, numbers go up. That was the other point of Richard's tweet. So, you know, like while we're out here, like he was saying, like get out of chat rooms. It's not to disengage with Twitter, but if you're going to be out there marketing, like, you know, that guy Tiger has his spiel, and he's sticking with that, and you stick with that when you bring in with something. And what Jim Rat Crypto brought to the table a while ago was someone who wasn't ready to tell his story because he had no idea what the hell his story was. And then he comes back and he's like, my story is that I'm really angry. And so his story may change. And we are like such an amazing community that people will section off just like a high school dance. Like there'll be that population over here, that population, but it doesn't matter because each section of that will be considered Hexaco in its own rights, whatever you go, Pulse Chainikins, like whatever you'd like to label it as. You can create your own state nation. It's true. Declare your own decree, party with your own people, and you know, pump each other's bags that way instead of punching each other in the face, because you're punching each other in the face, punching each other in the nuts. It's just a circle J at the end of the road, you know, like get it. I'm preaching to the wrong choir because you guys all know.
No, that's a good point. We're so different and varied in Hexaco, and it's really cool. That is something really cool about Hexaco, how different we are. And I think Hexicans do share some common things in that we're not afraid to go against the crowd. So most people that you speak to in your real life will be telling you that crypto is a scam. If you make money, you've probably scammed someone. If you lose money, well, haha, you shouldn't have been in crypto in the first place because you're a degenerate. But I think Hexicans have that shared belief that we know that it is legitimate and that we actually believe our bags are going to go up because of our community spirit and because of the tech and because of a lot of different reasons. But we have that shared belief. Like I'm not selling. I've been here for 3 or 4 years, and I'm not selling. And why would I watch an investment go down and not sell it? Well, that's because I have that very strong conviction that that investment is going to do really well for me. And it comes down to conviction, right? Like the people that are left have conviction. I honestly think the reward is going to be probably an amount that we can't imagine yet. It is what it is. Like people that aren't convicted don't get that kind of reward in their life. And that's all there is to it.
So true.
Cryptos with this kind of blessing will be such an attractive option in the future. So it's like this seems like it's taking forever, but I mean, guys, we're newborns here. System. I mean, the new financial system, like they're just, the horses are at the gate. The gate will be open in August. We are a truly decentralized platform. That's it, period. How many other craptos out there can say the same? That they are outside of the tentacles of the long arms of those that be.
They can't.
I think literally just being a part of this and defeating the SEC and getting a definition of blockchain as free speech is worth all of this for me, no matter what, personally. And so as a moral obligation, I want to hold for quite some time. You know what I mean? Yeah, the price will probably go up too. I mean, of course, I'm not going to say I don't want the price to go up, but what a wild ride. Like even aside from profits, this has been, we've changed the law. A lot has happened with Hex, PulseX, the judicial branch. That's insane for America, right?
Blockchain. Like, where does the blockchain live? Like, that is the best legal line I've ever heard when it comes to the blockchain.
Imagine if they were doing that with someone who wasn't Richard Hart. Like, we're very lucky that they picked on Richard Hart and Hexagons doing this, because he's willing to fight back, because he's not a little bitch, right? Just like he's saying in his newest tweet.
In the future, people will look back on that ruling and they will refer to it and refer to it and refer to it.
That might come back as a freedom thing. People might lose freedom of speech and use the blockchain for something because of that ruling. You know what I mean?
True. 16 days, that's the final say of the SEC. If they choose to, because they have 16 more days, which is not long. I just want to also say how important it is. I've got a friend in Ireland, and I won't mention her name, and things are really bad in Ireland now with the migrant problem, them taking over towns, and a lot of other things which I won't go into.
Oh, they fight back in Ireland too.
But their free speech is limited already, and it's happening all over the world. And I've sent her posts that other Aussies have put up on social media. I share it with her, and she can't even open it, because she's already said if she posts certain things or speaks about certain things, she's got to be very, very careful, because they can come and arrest her. So literally our free speech is already being threatened in many ways, and it's happening all over the world. So we have to protect that. It's very, very important. If blockchain is the way, which is one of the ways.
Yeah.
There's little cultural things that I think we are all responsible for having a little bit of ownership from. For example, I was filling out a school form, and it's for one of my younger kids. I won't say the exact age of the kid, but it was asking for pronouns. So what? And then it had different sections under the pronoun section, and then it had another box. I'm like, well, she likes to think she's a dinosaur, actually, Ra, and you can call her ROAR. And I was
my pronouns are Your Majesty.
So I won't say my pronouns on here.
But then they came back to me, and because this is how the world works, right? Oh, you are non-compliant. You have not filled out the form. I'm like, well, I had an issue with the form. But God, it is optional. You can opt out, but we're just going to pull you to the side every single time you come for pickup, because you did not tick that box and fill that form out. And the form is just basically a way that they're collecting your information. So they go through on the form who exactly is living in your house, what age are they, what are they details, and it's just like it's just collecting your personal information, and it's disguised as a screening health check. And I said to them, I don't need this form, because we've got our family doctor, we've got a specialist for the ears, I don't need this form. This is a double-handed form. It's an information gathering tool. And then when it had the pronoun thing, I was like, come on, seriously, I'm smarter than this. I don't need this form for a health check. You're double handling. Who's going to do the assessment? Some person assigned to do the assessment who's not even medically trained. Or they might be medically trained, but they're doing an assessment that covers teeth, eyes, ears, and a number of other developmental issues. You're not going to get one person that's a specialist in all those fields. So the form does not make sense. Because if a kid had an issue with their ears, you're going to take them to an ear doctor, right? If they had an issue with their eyes, you're going to take them to an optometrist and then an ophthalmologist. So this form is a little bit of bullshit. And anyway, so I fought back on the form a little bit, because I was just like, I said, look, your form, this pronoun thing, this is inappropriate. And they were like, oh, and they just found it inappropriate that I didn't tick a box, because they don't think that way.
On your class.
Most people don't.
You might have not been the only one who complained. I mean, I'm sure you complained the best, but
I hope she's not the only one that complained. That information is none of their business. They don't need any of this.
If we all go along,
you're such a troublemaker, class.
Oh yeah, if you just go along with it, then we are creating a culture we're facilitating that culture if we just go along with it. We have to put up just a little bit of resistance sometimes and just be like,
I absolutely agree, Claire. Absolutely. I just had a blowout with one of her friends for many years, well, so-called friend, but this has been brewing for a long time, who has a daughter that's a trans. And she's anti-Trump anyway, but she goes on about, she had a couple of drinks and she comes at me, so do you still like Trump? And then it was on, and then the trans issue came up, and then I haven't spoken to her for a while now, but man, I'm speak my mind. Like I'm not afraid to say what I think and how I feel about things, and I don't think I was being rude in any way, but she took it the wrong way. But this is the thing. I won't ever agree on that issue. It's something that I feel really strong about. And like as you said, them asking those questions for children, that's going way too far.
That's the issue that I had, because I'm such a believer in be you. If you want to be whoever you want to be, you want to marry somebody, you want to dress this way, and you're an adult, like that is your right. You do that. Like you be you, you be happy. I want to facilitate happiness. And as long as you're not hurting other people, then please be you. But for a child to set them up in like to try to put them, railroad them into a certain cultural belief system that should be up to the parents, it just really irked me. I was like, but anyway, let's move on and let's go back to crypto. So I'm going to go back to my bookmarks because there's a couple more bangers here. That I want to show you.
I've got a question too, Claire, when you're ready.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do it, Sammy.
It's more for the guys in the US with this new Genius Act that's come in about stablecoins. How will it affect our ecosystem? And I know that Paul Atkins is already talking about exempting DeFi from some of these regulations in regards to crypto. I saw that on Watch a Guru. I don't know how true. I mean, I don't know if he's talking about stable coins or whatever. So the question is, will it affect our ecosystem, this new Genius Act? And if so, in which way?
I had these are my thoughts. I'm not saying these are correct, but this is the way I think about it. So the banking system has finally come around to the fact that crypto is the way forward. And the central banks kind of control the financial market of the world. So how are they going to control crypto? Well, they control stable coins. So they only legitimize certain stable coins that they hold all of. In fact, they probably print all of the stable coins that they, that are acceptable. And so they've monopolized stable coins in crypto. And then they just make everything else illegitimate. And at the end of the day, if you want to use crypto, you have to go back into your banking system to get it out as fiat. And so if they've controlled the stable coins, they control how you exit. And it has a backwards flow on effect for all of the ecosystems, because they're going to have to provide liquidity pools with those stable coins, because people need to be able to exit legitimately. And so they've completely stifled innovation when it comes to DeFi and created a monopoly on the market. And they've, under the guise that it's they're trying to regulate the system, when they have nothing to do with crypto. Banks have never had anything to do with crypto. They pretend like they always have accepted it now and that they've always found it legitimate, when we know that in fact, the exact opposite is true. So for the central banking system, having a really strong decentralized crypto market is incredibly dangerous and a competitor. And they'll do everything they can to shut it down. And it's disappointing that Trump is facilitating that kind of cultural change. And it may just be that it works in his favor because he's got World Liberty Finance and they cut him a deal and say, yes, your stablecoin's accepted. So therefore he goes along with the deal. But when it comes to decentralized innovation, that is completely stifling.
Great answer, Claire. I like it.
Yeah, it really pisses me off because like he came out saying like, I'm all pro crypto. And it's like, dude, all of these like fake, I'm going to go to a war, I'm not because I need to make a deal bullshit is wrecking people's super funds, like their retirement funds, like actually affecting across the whole world pensioners, which is not cool. Like they only have so long to live and you're cutting their money into 2/3 of like half the world, because it's the world reserve currency is the US dollar. Oh, I might go to war, I might not. We'll see if I can make a deal. It's like, dude, what in the actual fuck? Like really?
Yeah.
And then that stablecoin act, it's like it was a dog act. That's the way I see it. A real dog act. Yeah.
The doors that opened in that act are not, they're just not good for anybody who likes financial freedom, period, or privacy, period. And it was, you know, you guys, like, we really have to think about it, because I mean, I'll take it back just for a second to coincidental timing. Like, boom, all of a sudden they announced to everybody these things. It's not like they haven't been happening for a long time. XLM and XRP have been shaking hands with the CFTC since 2012. So it's not like anything new when you're hearing like all of a sudden Circle and stablecoins are friends and MasterCard and Visa are joining the party. No, man, they've been on board for quite some time. Same with MoneyGram, same with Western Union. They're like PayPal, Stripe, all these announcements that are kicking off that Coinbase and Shopify, like all these crazy new announcements that are happening in the financial payment system. So like, it seems like a ghost land out here. It kind of does, but that's just because the waves hadn't even hit the beach yet. So I'll wrap it back up to like, what's coming down the pipe is freaking scary, because people like, blah, 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 like they can't speak up anymore. They don't know the rights, and they'll put a diaper on their face to go shop for their waxed cucumbers that are wrapped in poison. They won't say no. So, I mean, like, what are you going to do? Unless people wake up and realize that they actually have a spine connected to their body, we're not going to get very far in this world. So if you are not scared, I implore you to find your neighbors or friends within 10 miles of you that you trust and gather a huge community for yourself and, like, you know, spread the good word that way. Anyway, so, like, it's crazy pants what's coming. And August is the release gate. Like I said, the horses are at the gate. Their horses are lining up. They're ready to get at the gate. Like, August is go time. They're gonna let that rip. And it should be interesting. All of a sudden we'll have regulation. All of a sudden we'll have regulatory clarity that have come to something. Like, okay, just all of a sudden. Come on, those things have been written for years now. And it's out there. Like, read Modern Money Mechanics. It's one of the most interesting papers that I've read. It's 75 pages-ish. It's not a hard read, but it will explain all the effery going on with all of it in the system. Like, it doesn't matter if there's a man's, like, the orange man in front of it or, like, the dead man in front of it. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because they're all just, like, puppets playing for, like, the same central banking master. The whole goal is to unite us as a world.
Yeah.
World currency.
They want to keep middle income poor. If they can see that middle income earners, there is a way for them to become not poor, it's very bad for them. So they need a lot of acts to then control the population. Like, you know, they can see decentralized finance as a competitor. And all of this regulation is just to shut down the middle income worker.
But it's funny that they'll be going after people who, like, if, you know, the Genius Act in the U.S., and I need to read more about it, to be fair, but that you would be regulating something that's backed by your currency, and then technically anywhere else, they're not subject to that regulation, right? I mean, technically, if it's, you know, depends on where, you know, the stable coin and what happens, but what's the goal? To have everywhere that where the dollar isn't from, to have an easier time with a stable coin backed by that currency? Like, where your native, it's like the home team disadvantage, you know, if you're here operating, like, you know, I do have to read more about it, but it's just peculiar that everyone wants to just have this idea that this isn't on the blockchain. Like, this is on the blockchain. We could do it wherever. It's not based on location, and people have a very hard time with that.
Yeah. Trump's kind of like necessary evil, though. Like, you know, like, he's done a lot for crypto in regards to regulation, got rid of Gensler, you know, and is pro crypto, which has been great for crypto. But there's also the other side of it, where a couple of things he's done that's kind of sucked. So it's kind of,
I don't think he truly understands what it is. Like, he surrounds himself by people who do, but he himself hasn't had the time.
I think it's not quite behind him all the way.
You're right, Sammy. He's done so many good things as well.
You have to wonder if they're really explaining it to him and, like, the way it should be.
Maybe
I mean,
not.
how old is he? 80? Is he 80? When you're 8, you do what you told me. Like, by your kids. Like,
I mean, come on. Like, we gotta get some proper age ranges in here, and like
like Big Balls from Elon's team.
I mean,
yeah.
Where's Big Balls to talk to him?
Who's Big Balls?
Big Balls is a guy who worked for Doge.
Really?
And he
was like a whistleblower or something.
Yeah, but he was like, and I think I'm right. I think he was like 22 or something. This young kid, 21, 22. Something like that. But he was known for like.
He was known for his sack.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard. Trump needs like a good DeFi advisor, which is Richard Hart, and I actually do really appreciate what Trump has done for crypto, apart from the Stablecoin Act thing.
Oh, he's
apart
the best
from that, which I like. I was mortified by. Apart from that,
19.
he's done really good things.
19 years
this
old.
is the highest of stakes 2 is going to be made, guys. Whether you
oh my god, is it really? What?
Yeah. So when Rackham Michelle goes off defending Richard Hart, then immediately panics. Sorry, Richard, don't block me. This is why we're making part 2. Okay, let's listen to what Rackham is going to say.
No way.
Just kidding, Rich. Don't block me. I think he knew enough that it was inevitable that he was going to launch his own network. He needed to. There's just not enough people doing it right. There's not enough people warning their communities against potential rug pulls. Step out, go to YouTube, and look for other network founders warning their community. It doesn't exist. And he's made prediction after prediction after prediction that, to his credit, have come true. Stop robbing him of his credit. He did it. He earned it. Rich, I'm gonna stroke your ego. You did it. Go you. Now get to work. Yeah, he earned it. So yeah. Sorry, man. I didn't mean to fly off the handle like that on camera. Sorry, man. Just kidding, Rich. Don't block me. Yeah.
What a weasel. What a weasel.
I like him as a character, Rackham. I think he's very good for us. We needed these.
You know what's funny? He sounds like he did on the Pulse Chain chats in the Telegram, like back in the day before the sack, where we were just all voice chatting. You know,
I can hear my baby saying "mama." Like, say it properly. She's doing this. I'm like, Mum.
Why does it have to be all about him? Is this sequel? I don't understand it. I don't know. It's not the real background of Hex. They didn't focus on Rich enough. They didn't focus on the real Hexicans enough, and I don't think they'll do that in the sequel either. I think it's just going to be a money grab.
Are they making it, or is it done?
I think they had a meeting about it. They're going to make it, but
gonna make it.
So Rackham came out and said, like, if you guys as a community want to make it, you can put whoever you want in it, but you need to fund it. He said, if I'm going to fund it, I'm going to have who I want in it, basically. He didn't exactly say that, but kind of inferred that, because like you were saying, Sammy, like in the first movie, The Highest of Stakes, which is so epic, people should definitely watch it if you haven't. He didn't have, there weren't certain characters in it, but a lot of those characters also pulled their consent to be in it. So there was a little bit of both sides of the coin. I really enjoyed the first movie. And yeah, I would have liked to have seen some more ladies that are actually deep in the community on the sequel. So I hope some of you ladies put your hand up.
Everyone got edited out.
I did, and I'm so grateful that I did totally ignore my message, because I was like, I'm getting a bunch of the ladies together for a picture. Do you want to come and like video us? And they did anyway. So I got the message, but I didn't get a response about it. Oh, grateful, because I was like, I would have been mortified if I was in the movie, only because I just like don't want to be like that public with it. But like, honestly, if you think about it, like, what was the intention of Highest of Stakes? Was it the Highest of Hex? Or is it like the Highest of Stakes, as in like this man is putting everything out there? He's literally put like his whole life on the line, his freedom, his freedom to transact, move, all this stuff. Like his house has been searched, he's been swatted, like the Highest of Stakes, so that people like Moses, so that people had a way forward. Seriously though, You guys get the point. Like we had, it is the highest of stakes in that sense. So I took that title very literally. So when I watched it, I was like, I watched a little bit of it. I'm not much of a movie person, I'll be honest. It's got to be like, banger. And that was not too bad for a documentary. I'm not slandering anything. It was like, they're on point with what they did, I think. So, but I don't know. For me, it was like the highest of stakes is getting into something that you didn't personally make yourself. How much can you trust it if you don't fully comprehend it? Because if you say I understand it, then you stand under a man. Just saying.
But price tanked. Proof is in the pudding, and after Mikey squander away his money in front of his poor wife and family, that's just bad advertising. And Price sucked, and I think it's not good for our bags to do that crap. Like, if you're gonna make a movie, make it look good and pump my bags, bitch.
That's so funny because I look at it.
Sammy, if you were invited, Sammy, if you were invited to go on, if you're invited to go on the highest of stakes, would you go on it?
I already interviewed for the first one. I didn't make the cut.
I would like to see Hudpro. I would like to see some ladies that are actually in the community on there. Hudpro,
it's not a bad thing.
We'll see what happens.
Not a bad thing.
The price
price is going to go sky high, bitches.
It is.
I think the first
and then we all have to like run and hide. We're like, no, I haven't made all this money in Hex. I'm just a lowly farm worker.
If not, we'll have a lot of tokens and a lot of different places to go visit.
Meanwhile, Lindsay's got like a castle on her farm.
The first one was kind of about traditional finance versus crypto for me. And it was sort of, they thought it was going to be possibly be on Netflix. So it was supposed to introduce people to the idea of DeFi. And they had the non-believer, the professor, as kind of the spokesperson for the normal person who wouldn't invest in it. Now, as far as the price going down, we can't discount the bullshit from the SEC and Interpol and all of these agencies fighting against DeFi and Richard Hart. And that's a bigger impact than people think, because it actually stopped a lot of development, the timing of the development on certain things on PulseX, right? And it affected the way the farms were, doled out and whatnot. And the stream, obviously Richard's not streaming. So if that trajectory had been more organic and not attacked, it would have been a different story. That's the way I see it, right? It's hard to onboard people when the price is down, right? But the price is down in a big part because streaming and development had to stop for a certain amount of time. Now you're saying we have 16 days left. It's still affecting us, right? Like there's going to be no big moves, my guess, until we're in the clear. So it's kind of like, all right, the first movie is introducing people to the concept of DeFi in the Richard Hart universe. Okay. And maybe the sequel will be about what happened, perhaps
maybe,
because it deserves to be told. I mean, the whole SEC's thing is crazy.
It's a story to be told for sure. And there's a lot of different arms to it: monetary policy, decentralized finance. It's about a group of people that just don't give up. Like we just don't give up. And there's going to be, I think the proof is going to be in the pudding. People probably can't see that yet, but I've got to go. So we're going to wrap it up in a sec. Closing remarks, Sammy Chica.
Well, great to see everyone here. Thanks for having me, Claz. Everyone just hold on. Things will get better.
Exactly. Huddle. Hudpro.
You rock. You guys rock. Keep on trucking.
Thank you, chat. You guys are like the true believers here. Thank you very much for being here.
It's the believer cycle.
Exactly.
This is
you gotta believe.
Time to onboard. Your onboards will thank you from this point up, right? So, like, relatively speaking. So this is the time to hit the streets and greet hands with your neighbors. Share this good information with them. Internet Money's an awesome tool. Use it. Follow me at Fiber Farm for farming tips and all that fun stuff on my YouTube channel. If not, I'll coin Chef for the freedom of speech, freedom of movement, freedom to transact. Thanks,
thank
guys.
you, Barbara Lindsay, for being here. And I love your background. I want to camp like in your field. I'll be a squatter. Breathe.
Pond. Yeah, there's the koi pond. This is a drainage ditch, and these are anyway, that row of trees over there is plum. They're a dancing plum, and then this right here is a cling peach path row.
Goes totally camp there. Have a good time.
Oh yeah,
Breeze.
definitely.
You know, guys, this is a believer cycle. You know, it sounds like something maybe somebody probably would have said. We have an insurance program, so we will pop off no matter what, with or without anybody. And if it's just me and Richard Hart, and just, you know, I'll take it, you know, because I know how the next $1 billion flows in. So if everyone wants to leave, go ahead, click the sell button, get out of here. But we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. These levels are great to onboard at, and tell everyone you know, because this is gonna be the opportunity of a lifetime. Richard Hart will not look like a fool forever.
Exactly. Don't underestimate the goat. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a good day, night, evening. See ya.